everyone. My name is Shelly Dressel, and I channel the goddess of creation, which is the source energy for the divine feminine. I also channel the universal light beings, and in addition to that, many other different high vibrational beings that are working here with all of us as humanity. I wanted to ask, I have asked them to come in and see what kind of information or what they wanted to share with us about this upcoming year, 2025. Greetings. It is I, the goddess. I am what Shelly refers to as the goddess of creation. She's been channeling me for over 20 years. And when I first came into her or first began working with her, I chose her because we are about creating energy, creating new beginnings, creating new reality. My vibration is that which is in alignment with God and God's source energy. So I am the balance of the feminine and masculine, but expressed as the feminine. This is something that is becoming more and more available to everybody. Well, let me rephrase that. It has always been available, but especially with the changes that are taking place, more and more people are recognizing that it is the God that is within them that is helping them as they move forward in whatever it is that is going on in their life. So I am here. The universal light beings surround me, and we are all here to come and communicate with you just about our thoughts and our feelings about what is coming up in this next year of 2025. So first of all, I want to share that 2024 has been a very, very challenging year for a lot of people. And it is not surprising in one hand because this has been a year of clearing out the past. And if you have a large volume of humanity that's not aware that that's what they're going through, then they have been struggling. They've had a lot of emotions coming up. They've had a lot of transitions and changes, be it in their workplace, their relationships, their life. And all of this is because the energy just kept pushing humanity to clear out and become aware of things that are no longer serving you. When you are living your life, you make decisions, and honestly, in my belief system or my reality, nobody ever makes a bad decision. You simply make a choice that is what you can do at that now moment. And as a result of that choice, your life unfolds in a particular way. For some of you, it may take you down a pathway with all sorts of new and exciting things that are coming into your life. For others, it may seem as if you hit a what do you call that? A dead end, and then another dead end, and another dead end. So no matter what is happening in your life, and when you look back over the past years, what has led to this now moment, just be aware that everything has been to teach you or to help you understand your own self, your way of learning information or learning experiences, and it all creates a greater strength within you. So this year, 2024, all of the solar flares that came in, the alignments with the universe, there were so many different things that lined up in such a way that it was really smacking the energy into people so as to not force people, because we don't force anything, but to strongly encourage everyone to really pay attention and take their time about considering their life. Okay, now, when you look at 2025 that is coming up, and you look at the numerology, 2 + 2 is 4, + 5 is a 9. A 9 is a year of completion. And so some of you may be saying, wait a second, 2024 was a year of completion. So yes, 9 is a year of completion. When you look at the cycle in numerology that starts with number 1 and ends with number 9, yes, it is the last year in a 9-year cycle, and it has a lot of energy that is going to, what's the word we want to use? Bring things to further completion. So if you consider that number 9 is also a cosmic year, a cosmic number, when you are working with certain things in numerology, you're working with the level that is about you as a human on the earth plane. And then by the time you get to 8 and 9, but 9 in particular, it's about recognizing that there's more than just what's happening in your life this year. And there is a cosmic element to everything. And the cosmos are what is bringing in that high vibrational energy and frequency. So if you had not spent 2024 as a year of clearing out and releasing and letting go, then you would be struggling a lot in 2025 as you embrace and set up the foundation to begin a whole new cycle. But this new cycle is a part of the Aquarian years. This is a part of the golden years. This is a part of the time when humanity is going to be able to recognize we're not going to war anymore. We're not going to be brutal in the way that they have been brutal anymore. And it is going to be a new beginning, a new reality that is based in love as a foundation, and that the universal light and vibrational frequency is going to be balanced with that and integrating throughout this year. So consider your life for a minute. Consider what this past year has been like, and consider where you are right now, especially with the December solstice. That was a wide open portal that was flooding in energy. And within that energy, many of you felt the what do you want to say, the change, or felt that impulse. And for many of you, it may have been letting go of things that were in your lineage. So not just looking at you and not just looking at what choices have you made, but look at what has been a family trait, what has been a family experience, and clearing it out for the entire family. And this is where we are. It is no longer about just you. It's about you and your alignment with others, your alignment with your family, your alignment with the universe. So I hear you. Some of you are saying, well, I was adopted. I didn't have a family, or my family was horrible, because people have had those experiences. Absolutely. However, if you find that there are things happening in your life and you're like, why can't I get beyond this? Why is this coming up again and again and again? Then perhaps it is something that is coming from your family history, whether you know what it is or not. So you can clear the past and you can clear out your family lineage, even if you do not have that specific person to think about or that specific experience to think about. But instead, you just go back and say, okay, I'm going to line up with this, and I want to shift, clear, heal, change, whatever it is that comes into your energy field. So you will hear a lot of people talking about that. If you look at the Schumann resonance, and there are many people out there that like to show you that on a daily basis, all you have to do is look at the past year, where more and more and more light comes in. And that's a way that you can look at it scientifically. That's a way that it's the nuts and bolts. You cannot deny that there is a lot more white light in that which is showing you the vibrational frequency of humanity and of the planet. So for those individuals that are like, I don't see it, I don't feel any differently. Well, look at the Schumann resonance for a while, and you will begin to see that, oh my goodness, there is a massive change that has gone on. When I'm just pulling from Shelly's consciousness, like 4 or 5 years ago, there was like maybe this much white light in it. And it would sometimes go down to just be the blue and the green. But now when you look at it, almost half of it to 3/4 of it is that white light. So it's a massive change. And it's one that you can look at and say, wow, I see the change from then and now. Okay, so let's look at the next year. And now, the universal beings were here, and they're just going to talk in like a collective energy. It's not going to be just specifically one or the other. They have been preparing this, with Shelly to say, hey, this is what's going on. So let us they may talk through me, they may talk separately, but let's hear what they have to say. Greetings. Shelly's laughing because the goddess just said that we were going to talk as a group, but nope, I'm Albayon. It doesn't matter. So it just occurred to me in talking about that. This is illustrating to you the differences in people's thoughts and consciousness, even when you're aligned. We are very aligned with the goddess. We love her dearly. We work with her frequency all the time. She's the one who asked us to come in 2016. It was January, the first channel in January of 2016. So if you can imagine that, we have been here 8 years. So we love her dearly and we are in deep alignment with her. So that's why her perception was that we're going to come in as a group energy. But then Brasentia and I have realized, no, let's just do it a little bit differently. And this is showing you there's no one right or wrong, because if we had done it that way, sure, that's fine. If we're going to do it this way, sure, that's fine. And this is one of the biggest lessons for everyone to learn, is to be flexible, is to be open to the understanding that even though people think they might be on the same page, they may be actually walking on two separate lines here, and they don't even know specifically what it's all about. So this is something that is going to be more apparent for people in this upcoming year. Now, Brasentia will probably talk a little more about that. What I did want to talk about is disclosure. Disclosure has been massive. When you think back to, again, where Shelly mentioned the 4 years ago and how 2020 seemed to really accelerate the energy, or the goddess said it, really seemed to accelerate the energies of ascension. This past year in particular has really accelerated the energies of ascension. There, you are still sitting here with these two faces that represent the same thing. You can say that politically, you can say that with each one of you. Each one of you have already moved through a lot of the ascension process. You have already moved into that higher, lighter frequency. However, your everyday reality gives you the perception that you have not, gives you the perception that you're still, still dragging along or still trying to figure things out. So in this upcoming year, as these energies continue to get to that state of finality and that state of being transitioned off the planet or out of things, you will come, and each one of you will be 100% merged and together within yourself. And this multiple, it's not necessarily even multiple timelines. When I spoke about that last summer, it was like multiple different, completely different threads converging together until it was just one timeline, but massive gradients and divergences within that one timeline. So all of that is going to come down together, and there will always be quite a distinct difference. So it's not like everyone is like a robot saying the same thing, thinking the same thing, acting the same way. That's not the least bit what humanity wants to have, nor is it what any of the universal beings that are helping with. So be aware that in this upcoming year, there will be a pretty dramatic change that's going to take place. And a lot of this is from the disclosure, because right now that's a big separation. There's so many of you that are aware of things. There's so many of you that are not. And so as everything does come out, and it's almost like it's being dumped day after day after day, more and more and more is being dumped. Then at that point, when it gets to it, they will start talking about it on the televisions. They will, that when I look at it, I see the news system as transitioning dramatically from what it is right now. When you look at the television news right now, it's all robotic. They're being programmed, they're being trained. They say only what is given to them, and what is given to them is given with a very clear intention. Some of it is to manipulate, some of it is mind control, some of it is to try to continue to brainwash, if you want to call it that, humanity. That's going to stop. I feel like it's going to stop early, what do you call this month? January. And as that stops, there will still be people that talk and people that bring you the news and people that bring that. But what you're going to hear from them is that there's going to be a big difference in the information that they are giving you, it is going to begin to be the information of truth and the information of reality. And it's going to be the information that has been suppressed for so very long. The next thing that I want to talk about is that Robert Kennedy has already been working in the background. He was already working in the background before he got onto Trump's team, and he is already working to bring about cleaning out your foods and changing your foods. There have been huge transitions in those people that are in charge of making the fake food, if you want to call it that, or putting in all these additives that are not in the best interest of humanity. And so many of those have been taken out, even though you have not been told this yet. Everything has been set up to make a transition where the additives are taken out of the food. I'm talking about the things that are plastics, the things that are fake, the things that are manufactured, the things that are not really even food. And if you take that out of your food, then you'll just naturally go back to things that will nutritionally support you and make a difference. So you'll start hearing about that. Well, you have already started hearing about that. But what we see is Robert Kennedy is has meetings going on with people already. And as soon as Trump gets into office, I believe it's on the 20th, then he's going to be signing. So some of these transitions will already have been set up. And then once he's in the place where he can sign it into reality, then at that point, it's just going to be like a snowball and go very, very quickly. This is one of the biggest changes that's in the benefit of all of humanity. As you have heard, many of you have heard, other countries in the world do not use the fake food as much as the United States does. And the reason for that is because it was part of that control and manipulation, and it was part of making people unhealthy, and it was part of just trying to depopulate the country through poor health. But it's going to change, and what you're going to find is that humans will transition very, very quickly into something that is much more strong and healthy. Okay, so on January 6th, it's going to go smoothly. On January 20th, it will also go smoothly, and there will be a great deal of information that's going to come out. They will reveal what was going on 4 years ago on January 20th. They are going to reveal that Trump has been commander in chief this whole time. And so for many people, they're going to say, I thought there was something. I couldn't believe that a senile old man could be in charge. And on all of these things that those of you that you call yourself the truthers, you're going to be saying, just laughing yourself, the whole day. But it is going to come, and it is going to be quick, and it is going to be very, very effective. All right. So that's disclosure. That's some of the changes with your food. And Brasentia wanted to come in and talk about relationships. So I wish you well in 2025. Aunt Saluia. Greetings. I am Brasentia. We are just having a roulette, you could say, all of us just chiming in here. One of the things that I wanted to come forth and talk about is that as the universe, as the planets within the universe are shifting, and as the energy comes in a different way than what it has been before, each one of you are going to have changes within yourself. Because those of you listening to this right away, you guys are probably very much at the forefront, and you may have already done all this work. So this may be in your past, but be aware that you still have to do a clearing out and have to come to a place of clarity within yourself. This is where it's so important to talk to friends, to express what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you're asking, whatever it may be. Keep all of that privy or upfront, and let it be a part of your expression as you find out who you truly are. The foundation for everything is your own soul. And within that soul, you're finding the God within, the goddess within. You're finding that spirituality that is within each one of you. And as that happens, let it help you to change. Begin to let go of the stress. Begin to let go of the many, many things that you try to do for yourself during the day. Understand that you can live and have all these various experiences, but you do not have to do everything. And understand that as you are realigning within yourself and having this new experience as, your ascended self, then your relationships are going to change. For some of you, you may become, the vast majority of you, in fact, are going to become a lot more compassionate. You are much more compassionate about yourself. You're compassionate about the people around you. You're compassionate about the relationships within your family. In doing this, you will also then be a little bit more tolerant for the things that you used to fight, head to head about. As the goddess was speaking about the clearing out and the releasing that was taking place last year. If it did not take place last year, then it will take place this year. You cannot avoid it. So for those of you that do have relationships that are just not working and you're trying to ignore that truth within you, then things are just going to happen or come up for you so that you can no longer ignore it. So this is about listening to the guidance within you. It's about listening to that spirit, if you want to call it that, and then go ahead and take the steps and move forward as you create changes in your life. Okay, so then the next thing that I wanted to talk about when it came to relationships is that you will find that, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I just feel a need to say this, is that as you give this 3 to 5 years, maybe even longer, there's going to be a large upswing in the amount of births that are going to take place. So many people that have had trouble getting pregnant, or so many people that have gone through infertility, and then they may say, "Oh, I'm, we're just not going to go that route anymore." You will find that a lot of that was due to the foods that you were eating and due to the electromagnetics around you. So as a lot of that gets turned off and gets removed from your environment, and then as people get back into food that is truly healthy and is truly supporting their physical bodies, then all their systems. So those that have had diabetes, they may find they no longer have it. High blood pressure, that may go away. Their thyroid not working, their endocrine system not working, those parts of your body that cause you to function, as a human, you're going to find this year, there's a good possibility that a lot of that is going to reset within you. And as a result of that, you're going to see a lot more healthy people. You're going to see an upswing of the number of births that are taking place on the earth. And it just feels like this is coming from a place of committed joy and expansion. Don't know where those words came from, but that's the words I'm told to use. The next thing that you're going to talk about, Elbayon has spoke about those non-participant players. In other words, those that were just put here to be the aggravation, to kind of push each one of you into considering things in your life and making these choices and going into a place of exposure. They will literally begin to just disappear off the earth. And the thing about them is, because they don't have soul, they most likely were not here for 50, 60 years. They most likely have been here only for a handful of years. And so a lot of people will never remember that they even knew them. And it is because they were just there for a reason. When they no longer are needed, you don't remember that they were someone that you knew, that aggravating boss or that aggravating coworker. Another thing that I see coming up in this year is that, sorry, I just downloaded something into Shelly as I was saying that. Another thing that is going to come up in this year to come, you won't see it as much at the beginning of the year, but as you go into further into the year, a lot of people are going to become entrepreneurial. And what I mean by that is there are so many of you that have been saying, yeah, I've always wanted to have my own company, or I wanted to do this same work, but how could I afford it? How could I set it up? So the sense I get is that there will be much more money available for every single person. This is something that's been talked about as Nasara Jasara. And every time that word gets spoken, I feel this uplifting joy. So I do believe it's going to happen. I do believe there are going to be changes that take place in every country in the world. And as a result of that, there are going to be people that will decide, I want to work for myself, or I want to have more flexibility in what I am doing. So you may see restructuring of companies, and you may see people going out and starting their own businesses. And sometimes it's things that they have already considered. They've gone even so far as to have the plan, the business plan, and boom, here it is. It's ready to go. So even though 2025 in numerology is a year of completion, because we are bringing in the cosmic energy and because it is a cosmic evolution, this is when everyone is setting up and getting prepared and doing whatever it is that they need to do, so that in the what do you call it? The Aquarian age, which actually started a while ago, so that in this Aquarian age, in this new beginning, as people are moving forward, they will now have the energetic support to do these things that they have wanted to do for very long. So I thank you for listening to me at this time. And as always, Crystalia can bring everything to a close. Greetings. I am Crystalia. I'm very excited to be here. And quite frankly, this time I'm very happy to be the last one to come in and speak with you. You will begin to find out that, or the common man or the average person will begin to find out that there's more to the universe than what they realized. They're going to find out first and foremost about the motherships that are around the planet. They're going to find out about what's going in and out of the water. They're going to find out about the civilizations that are under the water. And if there are civilizations under the water, then why not up in the ethers also? Or why not just beyond that level of the planet and the what do you call it, the dome of the planet? So this is a big disclosure that's going to come out this year, probably not until more like May, June, something like that, because everything that comes out before that is about the nuts and bolts about each of you as a person and each of you setting up your new reality. And then it gets into the more global aspect of things. You will begin to find out that what you knew as your history is going to be changed. And there's a part of you that's saying, well, wait a second, you can't just change history. Well, they did so in the past. And so that knowledge is going to come out to everyone. And there is going to be a time of very deep anger and bitterness by the majority of people because they have not yet found this. So I ask you to always keep the peace, keep the balance, keep the energy so that it flows. And as you remember from the goddess and everybody else talking to you, when you're in a bad place, don't sit there and get in your head and regurgitate it over and over and over again, but look towards something new and something different. So when all of humanity is realizing the devastation that took place because of a few, then remember, well, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. And let that help to continue the ascension of the planet. You all know you cannot go back, and nobody wants to go back. So it's now a matter of making it a place, making your environment a place that you can truly be happy and truly manifest God within you and God as you express in your life. So the cosmos, you will hear about the fact that there are many planets out there. You will not hear about every planet all at once, but you will hear that there have been ships that are circling the earth that are supporting humanity. They will hear about portals. They will hear about people going in and out, the ships going in and out through these portals. They're going to hear about dragons. They're going to hear about the other mystical creatures that everyone said, oh, that's a fairy tale, and recognize that, no, that's not a fairy tale. That's just how they tried to disclose or downplay what is in fact a truth. So it's going to be a huge year. There's going to be so much information. Recognize the importance of you staying grounded. Recognize that you yourself are going to go through multiple changes in this year, and that just as you are going through them, so is everybody around you. But be sorry, be open to the truth that is within you. Be open to the God within you. Be open and express in all that you do this massive person that you are, because I see you. I see you. I know who you are. I know what you come from. And every single one of you, especially you at the forefront, are the ones that have these huge souls and have lived many, many, many different experiences. So be open, be aligned with the universe, be aligned with your everyday reality, and allow it all to just fold into one. Let 2025 be a year of completion for the earthly realities and opening to the cosmic awareness. Beloved, you have so much support around you. Not just we, the group that's with Shelly, but each one of you have your own guides. You have your own soul. You have so many different people that are around you and supporting you. No one is doing this alone. So understand that the community, or the society of community, community of society, community of humanity, know that you are all together as one. And beloved, we are all with you. Ansaluia. Whew. Okay, this is Shelly coming back. I feel as if they talk so fast. And I remember bits and pieces of it, but I do want to share with you, I could feel a lot of energy going through me. So with the words that they speak, as you're listening to it, you're also getting downloads that are going to help to activate you in the days and months to come. So happy 2025. I hope it is a year that is just fabulous for you. Ansaluia. Bye-bye.